Hey guys, how's it going? Clonks here again with a brand new save here on the channel. If you guys aren't new, you will know that we did have a save on FC25 with Southampton and it sort of ended abruptly, so I do owe you guys a little bit of an explanation. Sometimes life happens and I try my best, but sometimes it just gets in the way, so I couldn't finish that save, which I'm very disappointed in. But as disappointed as I am, I do still appreciate the support you guys showed me on that save for the 3 seasons we did, and I hope that you do join me now as we move on to a new save here on FC26, and it's going to be a very good one. I am very excited to get this started. So as you can see here in the background is the brand new thumbnail for this save, which I did make myself, and I'm quite proud of it, to be honest. I just wanted to put it out there. But anyway, it is going to be a Juventus save. However, there's going to be a bit of a twist. As you can see there, there's a picture of Jose Mourinho and it says Jose's redemption. Now, what does that mean? So in real life, Jose Mourinho, of course, has just signed a contract with Benfica after being sacked from Fenerbahce, and Jose Mourinho has been sacked quite a lot in his career, but he has still won a load of honours and trophies in his career as well, so he is still a top class manager. So I thought, you know what, let's take charge of him, let's try and sort of redeem his career a bit, because he hasn't really won anything since he won the Conference League with Roma a few years ago, and even before that he was sort of up and down, of course, winning Europa League with Manchester United and winning trophies here and there, but nothing like major. So I thought, let's take charge of him, let's join a team as well that aren't exactly doing great themselves. Juventus, of course, they dominated La Liga Serie A for so long, but at the last few years it's not been great. So I think this is a good partnership, both looking to sort of redeem themselves. However, it's not going to be a Juventus save. This save is going to be a Gloryhunter / Journeyman-esque save. Now, if you don't know what that means, I will explain it to you with my rules, which I will show you right now. So right here are the save rules for this save. So we start off with the main objective of this save, which is to try and win every trophy in Europe's top 5 leagues, that is Italy, France, Germany, England and Spain. We will also try and win all 3 European trophies, Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. However, I would still be happy with winning the Champions League and the Europa League. The Conference League is sort of difficult to get into, and I'll explain why I'm saying that in a sec. The next one is that you can only stay at one club for a maximum of 2 seasons. Now that's why the Conference League will be a bit more difficult, because I've only got 2 seasons to win the other major trophies. I'm probably not going to be looking to join teams that are in the Conference League. However, it might, we might get towards the end of the save and we might join a team. Maybe we've got some time left to do it and we can maybe join a team that's in the Conference League just to try and win that trophy. But I would still be happy with Champions League and Europa League. The next thing is that even though you can only stay in one club for 2 seasons, I can stay in the same league, so I could change club after 2 seasons, but I don't necessarily have to change the league. So say I think, actually I haven't won enough in this league, I do want to stay there for now, I could have a look and maybe join in, for instance, obviously where Juventus, I can maybe go to AC Milan or Inter Milan to try and win. Say I don't win the Serie A or don't win Coppa Italia, I can try and do that. The next rule then is that I can only sign players 2 overalls higher than the current highest rated player. So again, that's pretty self-explanatory. If my highest rated player is 85, I can sign someone to 87 but no higher. Now usually it's that I do a save where you can't sign any players higher than the current highest rated overall at the club. However, because I've only got 2 seasons and we are trying to win as much as we possibly can in one club, then I think it's a bit more fair for myself, really. I think it'd be a bit more difficult then for me to be able to sign players that are a little bit better than the players I've already got. And just on a side note to that, because I've just realised it's not actually in the save rules, we are disabling the first transfer window, so we are going to lose the first transfer window anyway, so it's going to make the first team, Juventus, a little bit harder again, so that's why I've added that rule in. The next rule then is that we can only sign a maximum of 5 players per transfer window unless I sell more players. So for instance, if I sell 6 players, then I can sign an extra player. So if I sign 5, sell 6, I can then sign 1 more player to even that out. So you can match it. So obviously if I sell, I can sign the same amount that I've sold. So that is how that one works. The next one is a big one. So the save still must be realistic. So any offer that comes in from a club that that player would realistically want to move to, I've got to consider it and negotiate it. And it's the same for signing players. I can't sign players that wouldn't necessarily want to leave that club to come to me, no matter, depends where I am. So it's all about realism as well. And the final one is that I have to stick with Jose Mourinho's tactical style throughout the save, because this save is about Jose Mourinho. That's why it's called Jose's Redemption. So we've got to use his tactical style throughout the save. So those are the save rules. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into it. Here he is then, big Jose Mourinho at Benfica. Of course, we are going to move him to Juventus now, and then we shall jump into the save settings. Okay then guys, this is how the save is going to look then. So we're going to play on ultimate difficulty. I'm still sort of trying to work out what's best in this game so far. The AI have been a bit too easy, and just trying to find that balance where they shoot and actually attack me has been difficult. But we're going to start off, I have got sliders on it, which I'll show you in a sec, but we'll start off on ultimate. We've got deeper simulation on, so we're going to look at obviously the other leagues that are in this that we want to get to in the save. So La Liga, Bundesliga, League One, Premier League, and of course Serie A is we're already there, so we will see that. But we've added the Championship because I quite like to have a look at the Championship. The other thing, we've got the manager market on, of course, because we do want to move about. We haven't got financial takeover, but expectations are strict. We are going to scout the Stars Instant, although I don't think I'm going to be really doing much scouting in this save. It's going to be about real life play, because we haven't got the time to scout. We've only got 2 seasons to do anything. Unexpected events we have on. Match then, we've got 4 minutes half. Ultimate, like I just said, and then those are that. Gameplay, we got it on custom. Like I said, we got wind effects on medium and weather effects on. These are the sliders then. So player speed 29, sprint speed 29. I won't go through them all individually. I'll just show you and go down so you can have a more in-depth look. Feel free to pause if you want to have a look. But I think I got these sliders, I can't remember, I've been looking at so many different people that I can't actually remember which one I ended up settling on. But this one so far has been okay. But like I said, they probably will update, because there'll be updates on the game which will change it, so we will probably change that. But when I do change it, I shall show it to you and let you guys know. But that is what we are going to start on then. I'll go a bit quicker now. Like I said, feel free to pause and have a look at what I am using if you want to have a more in-depth look. So that's them. CPU sliders, sorry, then we got tackle aggression 99, and even on that I don't feel like they follow you at all, which is really disappointing, because I do like yellow cards, red cards in the game. Makes it more realistic, but it is what it is. Build-up speed is on 65, shot frequency is 85 again, because they don't really attack, so I put them up a little bit. First touch pass on 60, crossing frequency on 95, because again they do not cross otherwise. Dribble frequency on 65, and then skill move frequency on 80, because I do like them to do a little bit of skill moves here and then, so I do like to have that up a little bit higher. That's the training, that doesn't really matter, that's fine. Then the transfer, we are disabling the transfer window like I said at the beginning, and we've got negotiation realism on default. Now if you were with me on the FC25 save with Southampton, you'll know that negotiation was very difficult in that save, because I put it on realistic and it just was very, very difficult to get people to accept anything. We're going to put it on default, so it's a bit more balanced, because obviously we only got 2 seasons in each club, so we do need negotiations to be quick. We've got our transfer approaches on loose, again for that reason. Again, we need them to be able to accept offers that we put in, because we haven't got the time to dilly dally. We've got scouting on, search players is on as well. So we've got scouting, start players and general on instant, because again I haven't got time to be scouting, so we want to know what their overall is very quickly, because this save is all about speed, because we haven't got long to do things. And then this is the general settings, and the board expectations on straight. We've already been through all that. We've got all this. We've put unexpected events on and on high, because that is a new feature this year, of course. So I do like to put that on because it adds to the realism. So yeah, so that is how that is all looking. Let's get into the save now and show you the team next. Okay, so this is how the squad looks when we first load in. I haven't done anything yet, just loaded into it. Some very good players here. I didn't realize Juventus actually had 3 really good strikers. You got Jonathan David, Vlahovic, and they've actually got Openda on loan as well. So really good attacking options there. Of course, Yildiz is a very good young prospect and already has 79 overall, so he's going to be a good player. Conceição, I don't know how to say his name, but he is another really good player as well. But like I said, there's a lot of good players in this squad, but we are going to have a look now at changing this formation, because this is definitely not a formation that Jose Mourinho would play. So I will have a look at changing that now, and then I will show you what we are going to start this save off with. Okay guys, so this is how the team is looking. Then we have changed the tactical preset and everything, but this is how the lineup looks. We've gone with a 4-2-3-1, so we've got the 2 holding midfielders here with a bit more defensive responsibilities, because of course that's what Jose Mourinho quite likes. He is a very defensive manager, but at the same time he does still provide some attacking threats. So we've got the 2 holding playmakers here. We then have 3 cams rather than the wingers, because we don't have too many good wingers, even though these 2 could actually play wingers, to be fair, but they are playing more of a cam, but they're playing sort of like a what is it called, a support winger, so they sort of go out on the wing when needed. And then Copper Miners in the middle there is more of the attacking threat, who will join Jonathan David in the attack, who is up front there, of course. And this is how the bench is looking there. We've got some very good attacking options on the bench with Openda and Vlahovic, which will both definitely have some game time this season, as well as David, of course. And then that is the rest of the bench there. So this is what the tactical set is looking like. So like I said, we've got the 2 defensive Locatelli's holding, and then we've got the deep line playmaker into Ram on the other side, who will give a little bit more support going forward, but still actually will stay back a bit because he is on defend as well. So he's sort of more of a playmaker, because we are playing on the counter attack, which again, and a very deep defensive line, which is what Jose Mourinho likes playing with. But I think it is very good looking squad. Even if we didn't disable the transfer window, I probably wouldn't look to do too much with this squad anyway, because I do think this is actually a very nice looking squad. We've got some decent options on the bench to come in as well, with Gatti and Kelly, of course, as the 2 centre backs, and then Moretti, Kostic, McKennie as well. So a very nice all-round squad. We've even got Milik as a 4th striker. I don't know how much game time he's going to have really, but because we've got plenty of strikers that are playing in front of him. But like I said, a very nice looking squad. So what we're going to go and do now is advance to the preseason friendly, because there's no transfers we need to do. I do want to get the preseason friendly over with in this episode. So we will get through, and then I don't think we will have the first game of the episode today, because of all the setup, but we shall see. It hasn't been too long recording, to be fair, so we might do, because I'm probably just going to sim through the preseason friendly anyway, so maybe we will get the first game. In fact, actually, I think the first game of the season is actually an opportunity for us to maybe get the first trophy of this save. So let's go and show you what I mean by that. Okay then guys, I made a bit of an idiot of myself then, and actually we won't be winning the trophy. I thought this was a final, because usually cup finals start, like the Community Shield. I thought the Coppa Italia was sort of like that, but I was clearly wrong, because it's actually just round 1 of the Coppa Italia, which I found very strange to start off with that game. But I think we will still play that today, because like I said, I will sim through the preseason friendly now quickly, and then I'll show you the results, but then we shall jump into that first game of the season. So let's get through this preseason first. Okay, then just quickly then to show you, so I have gone ahead and added a coach for each section, just one for each, just to give a little bit more growth, because I've gone through the development plans as well, but I won't go through all that with you. But I have put a development plan on every single player, because of course we want to get them playing well as quick as we possibly can, because we don't have a lot of time. It's all about quickness in this save, because it's, like I said, we've only got the 2 seasons in one club to try and win as much as we possibly can. So now we will jump into that pre-season friendly. Just quickly then, there was something else I forgot to show you. So this is the objectives that the board have given us. Of course, we have our own objectives, but they're fairly similar. They basically want us to win the Coppa Italia, they want us to win the Serie A title, and they want us to get to the semi-final of the Champions League. Now, the first 2 I would like to do this season. However, I don't know how likely it is to win the league this season. It's going to be difficult because there are some good teams in this league, but we will do our best. And then I would like to win the Coppa Italia, so that's why we are going to play the first game, of course, soon, once we get through this pre-season friendly. But I do have one more thing to show you before we do, because we have just received an email that is a little bit important. Okay guys, so we've received these 2 emails already. So Kostic, who has already gone down a rating, to be honest, he was 81, he is now 80, he's declining, has said that he would like to sign a new contract. However, I am not looking to do that, so he is probably going to get very unhappy, but we will try and see if we can move him on in January, and maybe get some money for him, and then see what we can do in January, if there is anything that we will do. I'm not sure. Obviously, we will look at that when we get there. But this one we have received from Vlahovic. Now, there is something that you've got to remember in this save. Because I'm going to be moving around a lot, signing contracts might actually not be in my best interest. So say Vlahovic is someone that I really like, and I'm like, obviously, if I don't sign his contract now, he is going to get unhappy, and I am going to go and do this. But I'm just using it as an example for now. Say I do want him, I do really like him. I'm like, ooh, maybe I could bring him with me to another club. If I sign a contract with him, it's not unrealistic to do that, because he obviously he's committed himself to the club. So it's something that I've got to remember. So maybe it's not in my best interest to sign these contracts always, because like I said, I could maybe not sign his contract, run his contract down, move, and then get him for free in that new club. So there is these different aspects to think about when we are doing this save, which is why I'm very excited to do this. It's going to bring something different and something more exciting to a normal save that I would usually do. So I'm very excited. So anyway, I'm rambling. We are going to go ahead and sign Vlahovic's contract though, because I do want him to stay for the 2 seasons at least, because he is going to be a very good player for us. He's currently on 115. I will give him a bit of a pay rise. He obviously wants to stay, but we will give him a bit of a pay rise. We'll put him on 130, and he can have 100,000 signing on bonus as well, which he should sign, and he does. So Vlahovic is staying at the club for another 3 seasons at least. Okay then guys, almost a bit of a banana skin then. For some reason there isn't a pre-season friendly. I thought there would be, but didn't get invited. Clearly Juventus aren't good enough for a friendly, so we are going straight into the season with this first game against Torino in the Coppa Italia, which I almost did sim because I thought it was a pre-season friendly, but lucky enough I clocked, and it is the first game of the season. So we are going to go with the first lineup just to feel it out for this first game, see how it plays, and hopefully we can start off with a win, because we kind of need to win this, because it is a trophy that I do want to win this season. So let's get into it. Before we do though guys, now is a good time to remind you that if you are enjoying this video and you do enjoy it, please remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else from this series and my channel. And of course, this series is full swing ahead now. We're on the first episode, so let's get into it and let's see if we can win our first game of the season against Torino. Here we are then guys, this is how the Torino team is looking then for this first game. Some okay players about her, of course, and Vlahovic are both very good players. Of course, this team we should be beating though. It's not amazing. This is how we line up then. Obviously it's our first team. We're going to see how this plays with our first game of the season. Hopefully we can get a win. Like I said, it's a game we want to win, because we need to win trophies. That's what this save's all about, winning trophies. So if we lose at the first hurdle, it's not a good start. So let's get into it, and hopefully I was about to say get the first 3 points of the season. It's not 3 points. It's a very strange cup game to start the season off, which is very weird, but it is what it is. So let's see how we go. Can't tackle him. Aslani. Ilic. Oof. It's a big strike. It's first shot of the game from Torino, and Di Giorgio Gregorio, or however you say his name. I'm going to have to learn how to say his name. With a big save to start this game off. Aslani. Zapata. Aslani. Strike from Casade. Oh my god, what another save. So early on, 23 minutes in, 2 big saves by the goalkeeper. Ilic, good tackle, Cambiasso. Nice ball into Conceição. We got a chance here on the break. David's made a run. We'll get the ball into him. I believe he stayed on. He has stayed on. Get the ball across to Copa Miners. Strike. Oh, and he's put it wide. Our first chance of the game, and it should have been 1-0. Copa Miners had such a good opportunity, and he's just smashed it wide. We've been under the cosh a bit in this game. Torino have been the better side, but we should definitely be 1-0 up. Copa Miners, Yildiz, Conceição, Copa Miners, back to Conceição, gets around him, nice strike, gets another good opportunity, and the goalkeeper with a huge save, Conceição this time, but another opportunity for us. We've grown into the game a bit now, but we really should be 1-0 up. That's 2 big chances that we've missed. Aslani. Zapata gets round his man. Another strike from Zapata and another save from the goalkeeper, which I really need to learn how to say his name. We're going to call him for the goalkeeper for now until I can say his name. But a really good save. But again, Torino pushing. It is still 0-0, but they do have a corner. Can they do something from it? Header, easy for the goalkeeper then. And 60 minutes in then, still 0-0. But we haven't been great in the second half so far. Zapata, Ilic, strike from Ilic, blocked. Okay, and this brings me to something I forgot to mention. So, there's been a handball. Now, if you didn't watch my Salam save, you will not know this. If you did watch it, you will know it, of course. When a handball happens, I do have handballs on and in the box. When they happen, I do a VAR check, because some of them can be dodgy, but I like having them on for realism, because some of them are handballs. So we do sort of a VAR check where we look on with a highlighter to see whether or not it should have been a penalty. Of course, it's come against us now, so we're going to have a look at this. We try to be as unbiased as possible, but we shall look at it now quickly. So the shot came in from Ilic, was it, that took the strike? Yeah, he did. And then it sort of hits Cambiasso. Now, with this one, the ball comes from a long way away, and because the ball comes from such a long way away, he could technically move his arm there. So unfortunately for us, it is going to be a penalty. I think that has got to be a penalty. He's got plenty of time to move that arm. He hasn't moved it, and then it's hit it. So yeah, it's going to be a penalty to Torino then, and they have an opportunity to take the lead, which Duvan Zapata is going to step up and take it. Can we save it? Oh my god, he's put it wide. We didn't need to save it. What a dreadful penalty. Zapata misses it. Absolutely batters it wide. It actually clips the post on the way past. Absolute dreadful penalty. So it does remain 0-0 with 19 minutes to go. Who knows where this game's going to go from here? We've been dreadful in the second half. We really need to step it up if we're going to get through. Otherwise, Torino are going to score, and we will see if we can get a last-minute winner then from this free kick. Whip it into the box. It's not going to go to Vlahovic anyway. Although we get a chance maybe from the second ball. Openda. He's going to have to go out wide. Can he get out wide? Can he get around his man? He's going to have to come back inside. We'll get a cross in. It's a poor cross. And that is going to be 0-0 then. I don't know. Oh, so we do get extra time in this competition. It doesn't go straight to penalties. So we've got another 30 minutes of this game to go. A bit disappointing, but let's see what we can do. And hopefully we can get this winner. And hopefully we don't go to penalties. If we go to penalties, I'm not sure if we're going to win it. So let's try and get a goal. Openda. Carry on running. Nice. João Mario back inside to Openda. Nice. We'll lay that back off to Copa Miners. Copa Miners. Oh, he's done it. And we do get the goal. The first goal of the save. It is from us. Despite Torino having plenty of chances, missed a penalty. We've had 1 or 2 chances ourselves, but finally in extra time, as Jose Mourinho there goes wild with the team, we finally get a goal. It's Copper Miners who does get our first goal of the season, but we need to play a lot better than this season if we want to win anything, because we've not been great. But like I said, it is going to take some getting used to, and I think maybe some of the sliders are a little bit off, which I might need to tweak, because I feel like the running is a little bit too slow. There is things that we do need to change a little bit of, but finally, anyway, we do get a goal. Copper Miners gets our first goal of the save. Guess Ronan plays a nice ball into Che Adams. Good tackle. Jean Mario's going to fall back to them. Vlahovic has found some... Oh my god. He found some space somehow, and there's another huge save by Di Gregorio. What a save that is. A huge chance there. Somehow he found himself I say 1-on-1. It was a really nice strike and another huge save to keep this score at 1-0, but they do have a corner, so the chance is still there. And oh my god, Zapatas hit the bar. Zapatas hit the bar, but we have a chance on the break now with Vlahovic. Going to head for the corner, to be honest, because bloody hell, that was nerve-wracking. Still going. Just going to keep the ball. I cannot... Oh, what a poor pass that is. I cannot believe how close Torino came to getting a goal then. Zapata hitting the bar. He will be absolutely kicking himself that he hasn't scored in this game, missing a penalty and now hitting the bar, and he's had a few chances here and there as well. But we've lost the ball now. 1 added minute. It's actually into that last minute, but it's Torino with a final attack of the game. Of course, what a tackle. Huge tackle. Get that away. And that is the final whistle. We do win the first game of the season, and we do head through in this competition. It wasn't a great game for us, really. It was a bit of a entertaining game. It did, but like I said, for me personally, the sliders didn't feel quite right, but we did get a win. That's the main thing. In extra time, Copper Miners with a goal, of course, and we do head through in this competition. Right, let's wrap up this episode now then, and see... let's just... I don't know if we will find out who our next opponent is in this competition. We'll have a quick look before we end this episode. Okay then guys, the fixture has been drawn, and in round 2 we will face Bologna in the Coppa Italia. Another difficult game there, Bologna. They've got some decent players, so that won't be easy, but hopefully by the time we play that, because it won't be for a few more in-game weeks, we will be in a much better place, and we will be more used to this team, and we'll have a better game. But like I said, we still won the game against Torino then, so you can't complain too much. But yeah, so let's have a look at who we will face in the second episode. We will get into the league with Serie A. Then we will start off with a game against Parma, the first game of the season. We will then play Genoa before then having a very difficult game to start off with, another game against Inter Milan. Of course, they're not fully licensed in this game. A few of the teams in Serie A aren't licensed, which is a little bit of a shame for realism reasons, but it is what it is. But obviously Lombardia are Inter Milan, so that is not going to be an easy game to finish off in the next episode. But as for this episode then guys, this is where we shall wrap up. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please remember to leave a like if you did, and subscribe so you don't miss anything else from this save. Of course, we are now into it. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm obviously, again, just to mention, obviously a little bit disappointed that we didn't finish the Southampton save in the previous game, but hopefully we can get into this one and properly, well, stick to it and get as far as we possibly can and win as many trophies as we possibly can on Jose Mourinho's redemption career. And quickly before I do go, if you guys do want to join me live, I do stream on Twitch, so I will be streaming all these episodes live on Twitch, so there'll be a link in the description down below as always to my Twitch and my Twitter, so our X, so you guys know when I go live. I post on there when I'm going live, so yeah, so check those out and come and join me live. But as for this episode then guys, I've been Clonks, and remember, take care.